Right, everybody, this is Jeff with Living in Arizona, and today we are going to talk about Phoenix versus Mesa. We can also make videos about Phoenix versus Scottsdale, or Phoenix versus Tempe, or Mesa versus Tempe, or Gilbert or Chandler. But in this particular video, we're going to be comparing the two biggest cities in the Phoenix metro area. So I have this right here. This is the Phoenix metro area. This is on Google Maps. You can see you've got Queen Creek down here, you've got Gilbert over here, all the way towards Mesa. This whole area, this flat little area right here is called Mesa. In case you're wondering why they call it Mesa, well, Mesa is table in Spanish, which means flat. Okay, so if you've ever heard of something called Table Mesa, that's where Mesa gets its name. It's just this flat basin right here. Over here is this Superstition Mountains, right? You have Apache Junction over here, but this big flat area in between the Salt River and, is Mesa. Big city. I think about over 500,000 people thereabouts live in Mesa. And then you have Phoenix, which is in this valley right here, the Salt River Valley, so to speak. You have Squaw Peak, or what was formerly known as Squaw Peak, Camelback Mountain, and the mountains over here in the Phoenix Mountain Preserve, and then you have South Mountain here, and in this little area is Phoenix. So from about, right here, here's Sky Harbor, which is the airport. You also have Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport outside of Mesa, but it's closer to Gilbert and Queen Creek than it is towards Mesa, but it's called Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport. They only have about one or two airlines that fly nationally, and I would say it's Allegiant is one of them. Phoenix Sky Harbor has more of them. So I'm just giving you this information so you know kind of what you're getting yourself into. But if you live in Mesa, you still might find it more convenient to fly into Sky Harbor opposed to Phoenix Mesa, which only really has certain destinations. It's limited on the destinations that you can arrive or depart from, and there's just not a lot of air traffic, but it is up and coming. Okay, so some other things to know about Phoenix versus Mesa. Phoenix, because it is centrally located right here, it is closer to Scottsdale, and you could say it's about the same to Scottsdale and Tempe. Both are pretty close, right? The downside to either of these would be Phoenix kind of is where everything happens with the sports teams. Mesa doesn't have any pro sports teams, but it does have some spring training out there. But let's go ahead and dial it in and take a look at bestplaces.net and look at all this stuff. You can see Best Places has a pretty cool thing on here where you can compare the cities, and you've got Phoenix versus Mesa. Their overall scores are comparable, but if we were to drill it down and look at all these different things, which is what we're going to do. Groceries about the same, which would make sense because it's in the same metropolitan area. Health scores are about the same. Utilities are a little bit different between Phoenix and Mesa, transportation and all that. So climate, let's go ahead and compare the climate of Phoenix versus Mesa. It says rainfall, Mesa gets just a little bit more rain than Phoenix. National average is 39 inches. Mesa gets 10 inches per year, Phoenix 9. Snowfall, both get 0 compared to the national average of 26 inches. Precipitation days, about 22 days of the year get rain in Mesa, only 20 in Phoenix. Not a lot of rain in Phoenix area, right guys? Sunny days for the most part. Mesa gets a few more sunny days. 301 compared to 299. Average July temperature 105. Very comparable, pretty much the same. Mesa is just at a little bit higher elevation. The crime, if you were to say where's the worst crime, it does say that Phoenix has more violent crime and more property crime than Mesa. So it could be stated that Mesa is a little bit safer. Okay. The economy, not too much data is going to come out of here. It's going to be too much different than Phoenix, but you get the idea of what you can see. You can pause the screen to drill down on any of that. Housing costs. So where is it more affordable, right? Younger people own a home in Mesa than younger people own a home in Phoenix. The average age is 27 in Mesa, 31 in Phoenix. Nationwide is 37 as per this website. Median home cost in Mesa is a little bit more expensive than Phoenix at $236 compared to $229. Why is that? Well, the areas in Phoenix are a little bit older And Mesa has some newer homes that are worth a little bit more than the older homes in Phoenix. Phoenix is not growing. Phoenix Metro is growing, but the city limits of Phoenix isn't really growing. So that means that you're dealing with mostly older homes in the Phoenix area. But if you bear in mind, please, Mesa is a part of the Phoenix metro area. Phoenix is the largest city, and every area, including Gilbert, Scottsdale, are all a part of the Phoenix metro area. So if you were to live in the Phoenix metro area in the suburb of Mesa, it is a little bit more expensive to live there. So you've got health, education. Health is a whole nother video all in of itself, but the air quality, you can see Mesa's got a little bit cleaner air quality than the valley, than Phoenix, the Valley of Phoenix, where Phoenix sits in that valley. And then you have other things to consider like the water quality, but it's all pretty much comparable. And you have education, which people really do care about education. I will say something about education. A lot of the football teams that win state titles come out of like Mesa Mountain View or Chandler won it this year. The only time Phoenix has a school that wins any sort of 6A or 5A championships usually is like a prep school like Brophy or something. But for the most part, the area where the kids are having the best chance of winning state titles is in the Mesa Chandler area, right? Which is in that southeast valley, which we showed you here, right? This area right here, this area of Phoenix is where a lot of the schools, I'd say right in here. Every once in a while you get a Glendale or a Peoria school over on the west side, but for the most part it's Mesa schools in this area is where they really farm out pro athletes or good athletes, if that's something that matters to you when you're comparing education. But you could see expense per student, it's a little bit cheaper in Mesa. So that's all stuff you can drill down. You've got transportation, nothing really to see there, I would say. But if you wanted to know about the people, you've got overall population as of 2010, which was 9 years ago, 1.5 million in Phoenix. About 1/3 of that is in Mesa, probably over 500,000 by now, being that this census came out in 2010. I would say it's probably grown that extra 30,000 in Mesa just with all the growth, right? So that's why I put that number out there. I don't know what this 2010 population, you could say it's 500,000. I mean, we don't know the exact number, but the average median age in Mesa is 35, Phoenix is 32. Land area, Phoenix has a lot more land area. So it could be stated that, actually it is stated that the population density in Mesa is more densely populated in Mesa than it is in Phoenix. So that's an interesting point to observe. As far as males and females, there's a little bit more male or females in Mesa and Phoenix than there are males. So other than that, guys, I hope this makes a little bit more sense for you as in terms of my own opinion and what I've stated and what the internet has to say about it in terms of data. But people, when they come here, they're thinking like, hey, I'm coming to Phoenix. Should I stay in Mesa? Should I stay in Phoenix? A lot of people say the place you really want to end up is either Central Phoenix or Tempe. If you can be in this little area right here, you're really centrally located. If you're in Mesa and you need to get over to downtown Phoenix, it's going to take a while, whereas if you're in Tempe, it's not going to take too long. If you need to get from Phoenix to Scottsdale, it's about the same from Mesa to Scottsdale. But this little area right here is where most people would probably end up wanting to stay. That's from Tempe, Town Lake, all the way to Phoenix. So anyways, guys, I hope this makes some sense, and let me know if you guys enjoy videos like this. Like the video and subscribe to Living in Arizona, and we'll